Welcome, everyone. I'm Angela De Oliveira, Associate Provost for Faculty Development. And today we're going to look at how you do the submission and your workflow for the annual librarian report. When it is time to do your ALR, you will receive an email prompting you to go and log in to the Faculty and Librarian Success portal to submit. Or you can go directly to the portal. That's what I'm going to do so you can see where the login is and how to navigate through the system. So when you go and you get your email to log in, you'll go to the Faculty and Librarian Success portal on the Office of the Provost website and go ahead and click to log in, and you'll be able to sign into that with your Net ID. After you sign in, you will be able to see your tasks and to-dos that will have where your ALR is ready to submit. You will also be able to find it under reviews. Okay, so let's go ahead and click in. The first thing that you will see after you log in is this option acknowledgement step. We are going to walk through both options in this video so you can see how both of them work for the submission. And so what you are looking at and acknowledging here is that you have two choices. You can either do the ALR submission using all of your data that you've input into the Faculty and Librarian Success portal, or you can do the alternate ALR. In this page, you are not actually selecting either of them. The only thing you're doing is that you're acknowledging that you know that there are two options. So once you've read that and acknowledged it, you would put your initials. And then in order to continue, you would go up here to Actions and go to ALR submission or go to alternate ALR submission, whichever one you'd like to proceed with. For this first pass through, I'm going to go to the ALR submission. You'll get a confirmation screen, hit yes to continue. And then you're going to be brought back to that tasks and to-dos. Okay, so let's go back in and begin our ALR. When you move to a new step in the process, you have the option of minimizing the previous steps. To do that, just click on this little arrow and it'll make it take up less space on your screen. I also want to note that as you get started, if you want to save your process, you can go to Actions and Save Draft, and that'll save whatever you've done thus far. All right, so for this example, we're gonna walk through and we're supposing that we're submitting our ALR using the information that we've entered into the Faculty and Librarian Success system. You will have needed to have added everything that you want to have included at this point. And we're going to have a separate video on how to do those entries and submissions. If you've made any changes, you can go and hit this little refresh report button, and it'll make sure that you've pulled in the latest information. You can also go ahead and open up this PDF. It's going to show as a new tab in your browser, and you can go ahead and check that everything is entered the way you would like it to be. That you don't have any other changes that you would like to make. If, as you're going through this, you notice something that you would like to have changed, go back out of it, make any changes that you want in the system, and then you can come back to this point. So once you're happy with everything that's going to be included in the ALR, then we're ready to advance it to the next step. In order to advance it to the Librarian Personnel Committee, we're going to go to Actions, and we're going to say Advance to the LPC. Right? Once we're sure that we're going to do that, we're going to click Yes, and it'll go on to the next step. Right now, we're not going to see anything on our tasks and to-dos because it's not on our desk. It's with the LPC. Whenever they've made their recommendations, it will come back to you for review, and we'll look at that step next. After you've submitted your ALR, it will go to the Librarian Personnel Committee. You will be able to see that that's where it is in the process by going to reviews. Once they've completed their review, it will come back to you for your candidate response, and you'll get an email letting you know that the review is available. Here, you can go in and see their review, as well as have the opportunity to respond to the review or add additional information. So again, if you want to minimize what happened in the previous steps, you can just click those little arrows to minimize those. You can then see, what the review was that came back from the Librarian Personnel Committee. You'll then have the option, if you scroll down, to include a response back to the LPC. And if you have any files that you would like to include here, so things that got added, things that you forgot that you wanted to have included for future review steps, any of those sorts of things, you can include that with these supplemental materials. Anything that you add at this point does not automatically get added into the faculty and librarian success system. So in addition to including it here for your future review steps, you'll want to go back into the system and include it there as well, so that it is available for any sort of future reviews or personnel actions. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my response to the LPC. If you do not enter a response, it's going to advance to the next step after 3 days. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and advance that to the supervisor comments. Go ahead and click yes to confirm that you're ready for it to go to the next step. After the LPC, your ALR is going to go to your supervisor, the dean, and finally to academic HR. After your supervisor and the dean, you will have another opportunity to respond to any feedback that you've received from them, as well as include additional material. And again, at each of those stages, you have 3 days to respond before it automatically advances to the next step. After your ALR has gone through this full process, you can go to reviews and history and find everything that's been there. So if you want, you can click into it. You'll be able to see everything here, including all of the comments and responses. You can also, if you'd like, save a copy for yourself. To do this, we're going to go up to the download. You can download something for online viewing. You can also download a submission with files for your computer. I'm going to download the submission with files. What you'll get is a zip file. You'll get an HTML document that will show that overall routing. And if you go into this folder that says submission, this will have the PDF of what it was that you submitted as your ALR. And so you can just extract these from that zip file and save them for yourself, so that you've got access to them whenever you'd like to go back and review, or have a copy for yourself. And so you've submitted your ALR and it's gone through all of your review steps. You're done with that till next year. Now let's look at the alternate ALR, which is an equivalent ALR process. So again, you've gotten an email that is prompting you that you're ready to proceed, or you've logged into the system. Again, you can find this either under the tasks and to-dos or under review. Go ahead and click in. Just like before, you're going to get this prompt that there are 2 options available to you, and you're initialing that you understand that there's 2 options. And now when we go to actions, instead of going to the ALR submission, we're going to say that we want to go to the alternate ALR submission, right? And confirm that that's what we'd like to do. Once you're ready to proceed, go ahead and go into the form. Again, if you want to minimize any of the prior steps, you can do so. Here you'll see your instructions for what you're going to add, but what we're looking for is including an updated CV, which you can either click here to upload or drop in your file. Here you have the option to include a brief narrative statement where you can highlight any of your accomplishments for the year or provide additional context. You also have a place if you have any supporting documents that you'd like to have included that you can upload those here as well. As you're working, if you need to save your work and come back, you can save as draft. Now we can drag and drop or upload our CV. PDFs are recommended here. We can also include a narrative statement highlighting your accomplishments for the year. If you would like, you can add in additional materials. Once you're happy with everything and you're ready to submit, we'll go to Actions, Advance to Librarian Personnel Committee. You'll see a confirmation screen, click Yes, and then it will go to the LPC. Once you submit, all of the review and comment phases will be exactly the same as what we've just outlined. So congratulations on completing your first ALR in the new system.